causing the turnover. Sherrod just lets the defense go by.
Yeah, though I like the tie-up by Chamberlain, and she's had some active hands out on top.
Defensive prowess, but she can score a little too. Huge pick by Whitaker, and Retta on cue.
Yep, on cue right there. Good call, and she can score, and she is encouraged to take the shot.
Foreman, you bet. What she does.
Now they're starting to get hot a little bit. They are on a 10-0 run, is Colorado.
Well, the Colorado women's basketball team's had a great year. Kind of stubbed their toe down a stretch here a couple of times. They got a huge win over the Oregon Ducks in their opening game of the Pac-12 Conference Tournament last week in Las Vegas. Then get beat in a heartbreaker against the Oregon State Beavers. Now sit and wait for the NCAA tournament selection to come up this weekend for the women's tournament. Back into Stampede, voice of the Buffs, Mark Johnson. You know who's had a great season? KJ Simpson has played as well as any guard in America. His numbers are phenomenal. Top 5 in scoring, number 1 in assist-to-turnover ratio. He's in the top 15 in rebounding for a 6'2" guard and been one of the better defenders in the Pac-12 Conference as well. We connected with the junior out of Gilbert, Arizona this week at Buffs Primetime at Corelli's. Powered by Ford. Cars, trucks, and SUVs built for America. Built Ford proud. Hey, I just pulled the numbers up real quick. In 29 games this season, he's averaging 19.9 points in the top 5 in the league in scoring. 5.6 rebounds. That puts him, I think, in the top 14 or 15 as a 6'2" guard, by the way, getting in there amongst the trees and battling those guys. He's averaging almost 5 assists per ball game. He's number 1 in the league in assist-to-turnover ratio. And virtually every single night he goes out there and wants to match up against the best offensive guy on the other team. So nobody's playing better college basketball right now than KJ Simpson. So welcome.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Are you having fun this year?
Yeah, a lot of fun for sure.
You put some work in during the offseason, didn't you? You and I were talking earlier, and you talked about kind of sacrificing your offseason. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, most definitely. I learned a lot. Being out last season, that was the first time I've ever been taken away from basketball. Mm-hmm. And, it wasn't for a long period of time. Ended up playing with mono and not knowing it. So, that was just a sign from God, allowing me to go rest my body. Had a lot of, physical battles, if you will. And that took a mental toll on me. That was the first time I actually faced something like that, and it was a real challenge. So going into that off season, I really matured mentally and, understood that obviously physically I have to get better, but I just have to be more efficient and improve in all statistics, if you will, for this team to get better. And yeah,
it probably does teach you too when you're a young guy. You feel invincible.
Mm-hmm.
Basketball, you love it. It's important to you. When it's taken away, then you all of a sudden go, ooh,
yes.
I really miss it. It's a big part of my life.
Basketball is obviously my passion. I love it to death.
Yeah.
And but it does make you appreciate it a lot more. It makes you, go out there and play like it really can't. It really can't be taken from you any moment. And it actually happened to me. And, feeling that, I know I shared that a lot with, Javon Hadley, who was out last year as well. And we kind of shared that same, feeling of wanting to get back out there on the court. And that's what kind of pushed us to work as hard as we did in the offseason.
There's that aspect of it. There's the physical maturation just naturally happens. You're getting a little bit older. You're getting stronger with what Steve does to you. I've asked you this before, but I'd like you to kind of speak to this a little bit. That the maturation process. We said to you, Scott and I said to you in a post-game interview here, right, in the last couple of weeks, that you've always been incredibly quick. Your game has slowed down, and that helps you. And it almost seems counterintuitive. Slow down to be faster. But there's something to that in the game, isn't there?
Yes, for sure. I mean, I learned the hard way you can't go 100 miles per hour every single time as much as I would like to. And that's just a learning process. And, it's kind of crazy. Like you said, the slower I've played with more patience and the stuff has opened up a lot more for me, a lot more for this team. And, kind of playing with the speed like that when you can change pace, it's a nice tool to have out there.
Yeah. Where does you play with supreme confidence? Where does that come from?
I think that's just how I've always been. Growing up, my dad instilled that in me. Go out there and play your heart out 100% or 1,000% no matter what. And I think just growing up, I took an untraditional route. I was kind of growing up in an era where if you were really good, then you would, if you started off at a bad school, you would transfer to a good school. And, I'm really big on loyalty. That's just who I am. That's what I embody. And I think just being loyal has kind of taken me down a different path. a path that may have not been, the most famous and, glamorized as such as other people. And so I'm kind of underneath, all those other names that get mentioned. But, at the end of the day, my dad always told me as long as you put in the work, everything will pay off.
There's KJ Simpson this week at Buffs Primetime at Corelli's in Boulder. If I had the final say, he would be the Pac-12 Conference Player of the Year. He has been unbelievable for the Buffaloes this season. Now, he and the Buffs are going to take on the winner of the 6-11 game, either Utah or Arizona State. Late one on Thursday night in Las Vegas, 9:30 the tip-off. We'll hit the air at 9 o'clock on the Colorado Basketball Network as the Buffs make a postseason push. Coming up next here in the Buffalo Stampede, we're talking tennis. Anthony Pham and the CU women's tennis team have won 11 matches in a row. We'll talk to the head coach after a break.